What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. Before I begin, let me say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. I encourage new viewers to subscribe for future content. And I just want to say thanks again for all of the support. I received a new item in the mail a couple days ago, and I thought now would be a good time to take a look at it. And this is Kithaba, Barada, if you are old school. This is a beautiful figure. It is unpunched, and what is unique about this one is that this is pre-production, and I wanted to show this to you along with my other pre-production vintage collection item. And this, Barada comes, or Kithaba comes with two different bandana types, at least over in the here in the US. The brownish bandana is a little bit more common than the red bandana, but there is a red version of that bandana. And I guess talking to Boss Bounty and to Only One Kenobi, two other YouTubers, they said that the red bandana is more common over in the UK. But at least over here in the US, I feel like this brown one is a little bit more common. This one features the Darth Maul offer. And what's unique about this one is that this one is a sample prototype. There are all kinds of different prototypes out there, but this is what's called a vendor sample prototype. This one has a tag on the back that's been attached by the engineers at Hasbro, and let's take a closer look at that before I show you some of the other aspects of the card. This is VC56, obviously, unpunched and in beautiful condition. This is probably a 85 plus or a 90, but what's really unique about this one is that this has a stamp on here that says vendor duplicate sample. So these would be given out to vendors to show what the finished retail product was going to look like, and just kind of give them an early sample, so to speak. Now, there are ones like this in the Power of the Force 2 line, for example, where it has a quality control. That's different than what this is. This is a vendor sample. And typically, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but my understanding is that those quality control samples are later stage prototypes. Those are basically finished retail goods, and they're just doing a few samples. And oftentimes you'll see Hasbro QC on the back. It's also a green label like this, but a little bit different in terms of the wording. It usually has been signed off on by one of the engineers. But this is earlier because this has an embossed gold tracking stamp on the very bottom of the card, and you can see right here where it says 0025. Now, I always thought that this meant that this is the 25th example being produced by the equipment at Hasbro, but that's not the case. I spoke with a gentleman named Anthony. I'll leave his last name off, but he has an amazing prototype collection. He's got all kinds of different carded examples like this, and this stamp actually refers to a specific Hasbro employee. Everyone was assigned, I guess, a number, and this number is assigned to an engineer or some kind of manufacturing employee, and it lets everyone know that, hey, this is the sample that was assigned to that employee. So this one's 0025, and so these are actually, according to Anthony, these are much less common than being the 25th example. He said they might run just a handful of these off before everything is signed off on internally. And so for whatever reason, this is a packaging test shot, factory packaging test shot, since it has that stamp on there, but it was later used as a vendor sample prototype, VSP. And so it's kind of doubly pre-production, so to speak. It's very, very cool, and very tough to find these. And I did purchase this on eBay. It was listed for a lot less for a long time, and then he bumped the price up once he saw prices doing what they were doing for vintage collection. And I should have bought it a long time ago. This has been listed for quite a while, and I probably should have bought it back when it was cheaper, but I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger. It's just so hard to find pre-production vintage collection. It's not like with Power of the Force 2 where there's quite a bit of it out there. There's just not that much pre-production or prototype samples like this for the vintage collection. Now, I do have one other one. So that's this one. This is the new arrival, and that will be sent to Collector Archive Services for grading at some point. But so this is one of them. The only other one I have is one that I showed on the live stream over on Only One Kenobi's channel when Boss Bounty joined us, and when John Miko, the admin of the Facebook Vintage Collection group, joined us. We had a nice roundtable discussion, and I did show this one outside of the polybag. I've only shown it on my channel inside the polybag when it first came back from Collector Archive, but this is a factory test shot, Target exclusive, special action figure 3-pack of the villain set. And so it's got the Sand People, Boba Fett, and Snaggletooth. This is, again, the Target exclusive, and this is labeled as such. So let me see if I can get a good zoom here. I don't know how well it'll do there. Factory test shot, Target exclusive, and it graded an 85. The box got an 85, the window got an 85, and the figure score was a 90. So what makes this a sample, and this is one I did purchase from Anthony because he had an extra. This one, again, has that Hasbro employee embossed stamp on there on the back, and it's labeled 0028. And so during that live stream on Only One Kenobi's channel, I mentioned, hey, this is a 28th example, but Anthony reached out and said that, no, that's not the case. This is just assigned. This is a number that's been assigned to a specific Hasbro engineer as they were finalizing the packaging. So just a great item, really unique. And I want to say thank you again to Anthony for agreeing to part with it. It was not cheap. Neither one of these were very cheap, obviously, given that they're pre-production, but it was really nice to get this one in hand, and I really like it. But you can see some of the other 3-packs that were being made around the same time frame. You got the droid set, the android set, and of course the villain set. But you know, to have a pre-production Boba Fett vintage collection item is pretty special. This is a very, very special item in my collection, and you know, just extremely unique. But so this is the new edition, the Kithaba vendor sample prototype, along with the factory test shot. So, you know, a factory test shot, again, is really, all they're doing really is testing out the packaging, testing out the process for manufacturing these items to make sure that quality control is good, that it's coming out correctly, and then, you know, once they get final sign-off from everybody internally, then they will begin producing these in earnest for retail distribution. So very, very cool to have this Kithaba to add to the list. And one thing I have mentioned in other videos, specifically the prototype video that I did, you can go back and look it up on my channel. And if I remember, I will put a link to that video in the video description for this video. But grading prototypes, which this is going to, I am going to get this graded just like I got the villain set graded. Grading prototypes is awfully expensive. Not only do you pay the typical price for a carded figure or a box set like this, but you also have to pay a fee on top of that to get the certificate of authenticity showing that it is a prototype. And they usually charge an extra $50 or so, and that's for both AFA as well as Collector Archive services. So it is not an inexpensive proposition to get prototype type items graded, whether they are loose or packaged like these are. So just keep that in mind for those of you that do collect this stuff and are thinking about getting them graded, is that you are going to pay a little bit of a premium for the actual grading process of these prototype type items, pre-production items. That's all I really had for this video. If you all enjoyed it, again, please be sure to like and subscribe or comment below. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll be back soon.